Chelsea keeping tabs on Ajax star, Barcelona closing on a new striker, the Italian Cup semis kick off, a transfer roundup, and today's great debate all coming up in the next few minutes as I'm your host Matt Froelich. You are the Onefootballers and this is the Daily News. First off, and Chelsea are supposedly keeping tabs on Hakim Ziyech from Ajax. Welcome to the rest of Europe. We all know how brilliant the player is, and it's amazing he didn't leave last summer. But apparently the reason Chelsea are so interested in bringing him in is because A, they want to bring in a new attacker with Pedro and Willian both aging somewhat. And secondly, he'll be a darn sight cheaper than Jadon Sancho. Of course, along with Jadon Sancho as well, there'll be a hell of a lot less competition. So apparently the Dortmund midfielder is looking at moving to Liverpool or Manchester United, depending on which random newspapers you believe. But for Chelsea, they're focusing on 26-year-old Ziyech. Now, it's clear from the Champions League performances that he can operate at that level, but if he comes into Stamford Bridge, he's going to want a starting place, and this is going to mean that someone like Callum Hudson-Odoi, Mason Mount or Christian Pulisic is going to miss out. I'm all for having more players in the squad, but Lampard's going to have a real job in his hands to keep all of them happy if the Moroccan is to join the club. Moving on though, and to Barcelona, who are apparently edging closer to signing Willian Jose from Real Sociedad. The striker was wanted by Tottenham, but they were unwilling to pay the 50 million that Sociedad wanted, and apparently there is a way that Barcelona can bring him in outside of the transfer window. Now, yesterday it was confirmed that Ousmane Dembele underwent surgery and will be missing for the next 6 months. So apparently Barcelona can apply for an emergency deal to be done to the Spanish Football Federation. So it looks like the only way it can be done though is if they pay the release clause. This is because the club have no say once the release clause is paid whether or not the player leaves, and that looks to be around 35 million euros. I believe I've got all of that correct. If I haven't, it's complete nonsense. Let me know in the comments section. Anyway, for Barcelona, I don't actually think it's that big of a deal on the pitch. Off the pitch, yes, it's quite exciting. They're signing someone out of the transfer window and they're shelling out 35 million for a 28-year-old. But on the other hand, he's never going to be a starter, no matter how poor Griezmann's form is. Obviously, there's still Messi there as well. And when Suarez eventually comes back from injury, along with Dembele, Willian Jose will be far down the pecking order. It's just another one of these Barcelona signings where they've got another body in there. They just need someone to come on as a last gasp measure. Think of like Kevin Prince Boateng signing or even Jason Murillo last summer. It doesn't really affect Barcelona too much on a day-to-day or game-to-game basis. Having said this, he'll probably come on and like nab the winner in the last minute of the Champions League final, but we'll wait and see if that happens. Moving on from La Liga though, and to Serie A, where the Italian Cup semi-final kick-off. And honestly, I've never been excited about cup competitions in England, never mind abroad. But this one has the potential to be unbelievable. The first semi-final tonight is between Inter Milan and Napoli, and the other semi-final tomorrow is Juventus and AC Milan. The four biggest teams in the country. I mean, just think of the possibilities in the final. We could have Inter and Juve competing not only for the title, but for the cup as well. Even better than that, we could have a Milan derby. Of course, there was a Milan derby at the weekend with Antonio Conte's team winning 4-2. They'll be taking lots of momentum into the game against Napoli. As for Conte, well, he's looking to do what he did at Chelsea, but maybe go one step further. In his first season in West London, he managed to bring home the title and finish runners-up in the FA Cup. I'm sure he'll be hoping he can go one step further this season and bring home the domestic cup and the domestic league, but things are obviously going to be made very complicated by the fact that Juventus and Cristiano Ronaldo are in their way. Anyway, let me know your thoughts for the semi-finals in the comment section below, but we'll move on now to a roundup of the rest of the day's news. So first up, Bayern Munich want to sell Corentin Tolisso in the summer. Former Manchester City, Tottenham and Arsenal striker Manu Adebayor has a new club with Olimpia in Paraguay. Derby's under-19s have shocked the youth footballing world as they've made it through to the last 16 of the UEFA Youth League alongside giant academies like Inter Milan, Real Madrid and Juventus. In fact, they knocked out Dortmund to get there. And lastly but not least, Iker Casillas has said that he will be running to become president of the Spanish Football Federation. So lastly but not least, we come to this week's great debate. You know what this is, where the newsroom here at Onefootball put a question to all of you guys. And this week, a question actually comes from Twitter, namely a person called Andy Coyle on Twitter. He said that whilst talking with his mates, they came up with the question: if you had to have a playing career as a footballer with 7 different clubs, a developmental club, a move at 21, another move at 24, a big switch at 27, and then 3 sort of clubs on the way at the end of your career, who would they be? This is sure to get loads of you talking, so you can literally just name 7 clubs. There is no reason behind it. You can have any sort of career that you want. For me, I'm going to go a little bit left field with a few of these choices, but here it is. First off, I'm going to start at Grasshopper in Zurich before moving to Ajax, then to Spurs, then to Juventus, and move to Eintracht Frankfurt next before Celta Vigo, and lastly but not least, finishing up in the MLS with Sporting Kansas City. You may be thinking, what on earth, Matt? but those are just the teams that I like. Anyway, you guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, of course. Whilst you're there, you can smash the like button and click here or here to check out all of the other videos we've got going on OneFootball. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.